I woke up to a miracle today. Triggers stay as I find my way. No judgment to lead astray. In this peaceful state of
Glad to have you back with us. Ready to jump into another deep dive?
Always ready. Where are we headed today?
Today, we're looking at lesson 63 from A Course in Miracles.
Ooh, that's a good one. Lots to explore there.
Definitely. It starts, and I'll read it verbatim. The light of the world brings peace to every mind through my forgiveness.
Okay.
How holy are you who have the power to bring peace to every mind? How blessed are you who can learn to recognize the means for letting this be done through you? What function would you want but this? What purpose could you have that would bring you greater happiness? You are indeed the light of the world with such a function. The Son of God looks to you for his redemption. It is yours to give him, for it belongs to you. Accept no trivial purpose or meaningless desire in its place, or you will forget your purpose and leave God's Son in hell. This is no idle request that is being asked of you. You are asked to accept salvation, that it may be yours to give.
Powerful stuff.
Recognizing the importance of this function, we will be happy to remember it very often today. We will begin the day by acknowledging it and close the day with the thought of it in our awareness. And throughout the day, we will repeat this as often as we can. The light of the world brings peace to every mind through my forgiveness. I am the means God has appointed for the salvation of the world.
Right.
You will probably find it easier to let related thoughts come to you in the minute or two you should devote to considering this if you can close your eyes. However, do not wait for such an opportunity. No chance should be lost for reinforcing today's idea. Remember that God's Son looks to you for his salvation, and who but yourself must be his son?
It's almost like this radical statement, right? Like our forgiveness, our individual act of forgiveness can somehow impact the entire world.
Right, and bring peace to every mind. It's a bold claim.
But if you think about what A Course in Miracles is really getting at, the idea that our perception creates our reality, then it starts to make sense.
You mean the idea that the world we see is actually a reflection of our own internal state?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if we're holding on to anger, resentment, judgment, that's what we're going to project outward. We're going to see a world of conflict and separation.
But if we choose forgiveness, if we make that internal shift,
Then yeah, our perception of the world starts to change. We begin to see the light, the good, the connection. And in a way, that does ripple outward. It impacts how we interact with others, how we respond to situations.
it's like the lesson is saying that our individual forgiveness has this incredible power to transform not just ourselves, but the world around us.
And I think that's where the idea of the Son of God comes in. That phrase always trips people up, you know?
It can be confusing for sure.
Especially if you come from a traditional religious background. But in A Course in Miracles, the Son of God isn't referring to a specific person. It's talking about our true self, that part of us that's already whole, perfect, divine, that spark of God that's within each and every one of us.
And so when the lesson says the Son of God looks to you for his redemption, what it's really saying is,
It's saying that our true self, our divine nature, is trapped, so to speak, in this illusion of separation, this world of ego and fear.
trapped by our own judgments, our own unwillingness to forgive.
And the only way to break free, to experience true redemption, is through forgiveness. By choosing to see ourselves and others through the eyes of love, we're essentially liberating the Son of God within.
It's like we hold the key to our own salvation, and in a sense, to the salvation of the world.
Which is why the lesson emphasizes remembering this idea throughout the day, repeating those affirmations. The light of the world brings peace to every mind through my forgiveness. I am the means God has appointed for the salvation of the world.
I've always found that part to be really helpful. I used to be skeptical of affirmations, but the more I practice with them, the more I see how they can really shift my thinking.
Because it's not just about saying the words, right?
No, it's about consciously choosing a different way of seeing things. Like every time I repeat those affirmations, I'm reminding myself of this deeper truth.
You're aligning yourself with that idea that forgiveness is possible, that peace is attainable, and that even though the world might seem messed up, you have the power to make a difference.
It's empowering. It's like, okay, maybe I can't change the whole world, but I can change my little corner of it by choosing forgiveness. by choosing love.
Exactly. And it's funny because as you do that, as you start to embody that forgiveness, that's when you truly become the light of the world.
Not in some grand, self-important way, but just by letting your own inner light shine.
Yeah. And I think that's what that last line is pointing to. And who but yourself must be his son? It's a question that makes you really stop and think.
It does. It's challenging us to see that there's no separation between us and the divine. We are the Son of God. We are that love, that light, that wholeness.
And when we recognize that in ourselves, it becomes easier to recognize it in everyone else.
Forgiveness becomes less about them and more about us, about recognizing our shared humanity, our shared divinity.
And that's where real peace comes from, right? From that understanding that we're all connected, all part of the same source.
So the peace we seek in the world starts within each of us.
Starts with our own willingness to forgive, to let go of judgment, to embrace the light.
Powerful stuff to ponder.
Definitely.
Well, thanks for diving into this with me today. Lots for all of us to think about.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I woke up to a miracle today.